Welcome to my channel, Conversations for Self. Along the healing journey, there are important steps that you must take. There are important conversations that you must have. The most important conversations that you will have are the conversations with self. Digging to find out why you're not happy, digging to find out why you're hurting, and just why your life is not going in a positive direction no matter how hard you try. I've been there. My name is Simona, and it is my mission to assist in finding the healing that you need. I had posted earlier about going back to the person, place, or thing that hurt you, or going back to the person, place, or thing that broke you. So there's a saying, you can say it several different ways: broke people, break people, hurt people, hurt people. Of course, I currently use the phrase healed people heal people. It is definitely an outward reflection of how you are feeling internally, deep down inside, whether you recognize it or not. It is a reflection of how you feel about yourself when you are able to treat someone in a very wrong manner. And it is a reflection of how you feel about yourself as well when you accept the treatment, because it goes to the core of things, the seed that sprouted the idea, the tree of the idea that you somehow, somewhere, subconsciously do not feel worthy of great treatment. And the person who is mistreating you or has mistreated you, they don't love themselves subconsciously deep down inside. And it's a battle between two people who don't have true love, true value, true love, true value deep down inside for self. And I know this sounds harsh and it's difficult to hear. It was difficult for me to grasp. It was difficult for me to work through. It was difficult for me to look into the mirror and acknowledge that I was indeed part of the equation of the problem. And I had to understand that I was in fact discounting myself, not intentionally, but through years of conditioning, from childhood on, and also, wanting to be humble and not boast and think myself better than anyone else. That also led me to discount myself, to discount my worth, to discount my value. Um, because I equated, having higher thoughts of myself as being boastful, as being braggadocious, as being, thinking that I'm better than anyone else with my nose in the air. So subconsciously, that is what I equated it with. So when it came time for me to require someone else to treat me well, that is the piece that I was missing within myself. And oftentimes we go back to the very person who hurt us because it's the validation we are seeking. We in order to feel better, we feel like they need to acknowledge that it's not us that is the problem. It is indeed them that is the problem. And that will somehow make us feel better. This is not correct. This is not how that works. Because if a person is so deeply hurt that they don't even recognize their own actions, they need healing. They don't understand why they're doing what they are doing. They don't understand that they are projecting. They don't understand, even when you are treating them well, they don't understand that their anger with you is not in the good treatment. The anger is with the fact that the good treatment and you being able to be a gentle, large-hearted person is just a reminder to them what they lack and what they are missing. So when we go back to the person, to the place that hurt us, and we seek healing from that very person, you're asking a broken person to make you whole. And that, again, is not how it works. So, in my healing journey, the most difficult thing that I had to learn was accountability for self-reflection, self-observation, and holding myself accountable. Realizing that I had made the choices that put me in the position that I was in, to be hurt, to be mistreated, to be misused. Once I was able to be honest with myself, then I was able to do the shadow work, do the deep diving, do the healing, because in finding out what was, why was I hurting? Why was I allowing myself to hurt? Why was I making these choices? And in answering those questions, again, it goes back to conversations for self, conversations with self. Why am I allowing this? Why am I okay with being mistreated, staying where I am mistreated, trying to prove my worth, not to the other person, more so than myself? Because if I can get this hard person who doesn't love me to love me, then that is, my ultimate value. That is erroneous, wrong thinking. And that is something that had to work on with self. Continuous conversations with self, continuous self-checking. When those emotions came up, when I found myself in those same positions again, or when I felt like I was slipping back into the old habits of not loving myself unconditionally, totally and unconditionally. So these are still conversations that I check in with myself. I check in with myself often. I talk myself back and ensure that, okay, this is what's going on. This is what I observe. This is the emotion that I'm having. I don't like this. But why is it here? Like, why is this happening here? Why is this happening now? And why am I engaging in it instead of walking away? Why am I defending myself to someone who is just determined to misunderstand me anyway? So that conversation, those conversations with self, will help you to learn the areas that need to be healed. And it will also benefit you in the future as you're growing in your healing, as you're growing in self-love to of those places. It's relearning, relearning. So it is a daily task. It is step by step. It is a journey of 1,000 miles. However, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And all of those steps end up leading you to your ultimate destination, which is happiness, wholeness, which is, you know, true self-love, true self-love, where you're no longer a people pleaser and you're no longer a doormat, because you innately understand what your worth is, and you determine what your worth is. You determine what your worth is. So that also brings me back to what I always say: healing and self-love are very necessary.